Patrick, guess what came in the mail today?
Oh, what?
This.
Stick it in!
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, SpongeBob. I hope you enjoy this episode. Who remembers VHS tapes? Anyone my age and slightly below may well remember. A lot of you kids, you're like, what's that? I ain't got a clue. Look it up. Ask your parents or maybe your grandparents. Right, a really interesting ear. Got a lot to get through today, a lot to tell you about. Anyway, a couple of interesting anecdotes have happened this week too. Where was I? What was this? Yeah, this ear. What can I tell you about it? An interesting ear. And why is it an interesting ear? I'll first tell you about what I'm doing. It's got a hole in it. It's the long and short of it. And it's a pinhole perforation, but it's a chronic one. And I'll explain in a little more detail when we get to see that. But what I'm doing to start with here, you might well be thinking that's really sticky and gloopy that. At this point, it's too sticky and tacky to put any tools in. I do need the curette shortly, but it will just spread it around a bit. I mean, it turns out it did that anyway when I did get the curette in, but I just needed to try and remove a little bit of the more sticky, tacky stuff first, in order to get something to get to it's a bit firmer just behind it, and that's when the curette comes in handy. But needed a bit of everything to get this out. Now, it would have come away really easily with oil, but you can't put oil in anything like this because there's a perforation in it, albeit it is a tiny one, hence the title of the video. It's a pinhole one, literally the size of a pin. So you can't put oil in that because it would dribble down into the middle here, and you don't want it in there. So I'm just going to peel away a little bit of that skin, and then I'm going to roll it forward a little bit. And now can you see there where it's darker, it's a bit firmer. Still not as firm as I'd like, but because it's a bit firmer, that means I can now get the curette in over the top of it and try and scoop it forward. But it did still spread it around a bit because it is still quite soft and sticky and tacky. But you needed a combination of method. You can see it's just spread it around a bit there. But again, it's made a nice little gap where I can fit this into and slide it down, scoop it down, and hike it out there. So yeah, it does take a bit of a combination of stuff to get through it. Right, a couple of other things to tell you. I won an award today. And everything wasn't as it seems, and I knew it as soon as I got because I get a lot of emails like this. Congratulations, you've been nominated for this, you've been nominated for that. I would like to invite you to our award ceremony for the best, what did they call it? The best earwax removal provider in the north of England. I thought, oh, wonderful, thank you very much. But I knew straight away what this was about because I get a lot of emails like this saying you've won something. And what they do, these companies, it's basically a vanity award. So if you see anyone who's got an award, always be suspicious, because what they do, they'll invent these categories and send a load of emails out. You can tell it's a generic spam email. It usually goes to the spam folder, and and you look at their website, and like everyone's won an award. Basically, everyone who's applied. So you have to fill in a little form, tell them a bit about your business, and I never bother. But this time I thought I would, just for a laugh. So I filled it in, and sure enough, they sent, because in the email they said, "Oh, it's all free. It's fine. It's free. There's no cost involved in this one. This is different than all the others." I'm like, "Oh, okay, is it?" So I filled in the form. I didn't spend much time doing it. So I filled in the form, and then they sent me back this winners package. And in this winners package was an array of things that you could display, like a trophy, a certificate, a plaque on the wall, and and then like a media day where you'd be invited to talk to them, and you'd get a little video and a promo video made about you, and talking all about your award that you've won. Because when I sent the email back, they phoned me back in 2 minutes, say, congratulations, you've won. Like, that was a quick judging process. And anyway, when I had looked through this brochure, so it was £150 for a certificate. They frame it for you. I should think so for that. I should think I should hang it on the wall for that as well. And it was about 700 quid for a trophy. Then like a personalised logo, award winner with your logo on it. And a certificate and a plaque to put on, 700 quid. I could buy all that for about 50 quid and just invent an award and stick it on the wall and design myself a trophy. It's a complete scam. Anyway, obviously I'm not going to get it. But I was just curious as to see just exactly how much are you trying to scam people. And it turns out quite a lot. So sure, some people will go for it and buy it. They are quite widely known as vanity awards. So if you see anyone with an award from someone who you don't recognise, they'll call themselves or luxury provider of the year or best health provider of the year. If it's not come from an official body, like either from a governing body, then my advice would be it's been paid for. It's a paid for award, vanity award. So yeah, I wouldn't trust any of them. Anyway, back to this here. It's enough about that. And again, I think I've gone back to the curette again here to scoop this little last bit out. And when we scoop this to the side, I'm going to have a close look at the eardrum, and you'll see this little pinhole perforation. Now, it's been there for a couple of years. She doesn't know how it happened. We'll get a close look in a minute. She doesn't know how it happened, but it's not healed. Now, the specialists know about this, but they weren't concerned. They were not concerned about it because A, it's not a really big one. It still means that can you just see it there? Tiny little dot. There is a bit of skin around that. I'm not too bothered about that. But the reason why it doesn't heal is because you often get this with chronic wounds. Part of my old job, I dealt with a lot of chronic wounds, leg ulcers, pressure ulcers, and the like. And in the healing process, you can get what's called rolled edges, and that's more often than not usually what happens always when you. I had to stop at this point actually. Just before I go on, I'll tell you about it in a minute. She found it. You'll see me cut away quite quickly, and she said she got a really weird sensation when I was. Excuse me. A really weird sensation when I was trying to lift this up, and she found it hard to explain. She said it like an odd feeling in her nose as well as her throat, which is really odd. I'm not sure if that was an Arnold's thing or not, but really weird. Anyway, so yeah, you can get these rolled edges. So if you have a wound like that, for example, and there's several different layers to the tissue, and you get these rolled edges when the wound is trying to close like this, but then the top layer closes in faster than the bottom layer. So what it does, it comes over the top of this, saying this is the edge of the wound, and it rolls over the top of it, therefore causing a blockage. So then the edges of the whole wound don't close inwards, and that's almost certainly what's happening there. Now they can sometimes fix them if they decide that it's worth it. They can either do what they call mechanical debridement, which basically means cutting around it to freshen up the edges so it tries to close again, or things like silver nitrate, which essentially just like burn it to singe those edges off. But in most instances, if it's a tiny little one like that and it's not causing a too much problem, then they generally just keep an eye on it just to make sure it doesn't get any bigger. And it's a fairly stable one, so I think they've decided not to do anything about it. And there's our other eardrum. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, found it interesting. I forgot to mention whose subscriber of the day was today. It's Michelle Reardon. Congratulations, Michelle. Thanks for being a valued member. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.